Babe, are you fighting with the food? Sonia whispered, nudging Kelechi's elbow. Kelechi barely looked up. His spoon was on a mission, scooping jollof rice at an alarming speed. Huh? No, I'm just appreciating it deeply, he murmured between mouthfuls. Sonia sighed. You're not appreciating it, you are inhaling it. It was her elder sister's wedding, a high-class affair with soft music playing, waiters gliding across the hall, and guests sipping wine like royalty. Everything was elegant, except Kelechi. His plate looked like a battlefield. Chicken bones stacked like trophies, and rice grains escaping onto the pristine white tablecloth. Then came the disaster. The MC cracked the joke, and Kelechi, still mid-chew, burst into laughter. A violent spray of jollof rice and bits of chicken exploded from his mouth, splattering across the table like a crime scene. Sonia's soul left her body. The woman across the table gasped, looking at her now rice-covered dress. A man wiped a stray grain off his forehead, eyes wide in disbelief. Even the flour vase in the middle of the table wasn't spared. One unfortunate piece of beef landed right on top it, like a wedding decoration gone wrong. I'm so sorry, Sonia stammered, grabbing napkins in a desperate attempt to contain the disaster. Meanwhile, Kelechi, unbothered, he wiped his mouth with the back of his hand and reached for another piece of chicken, grinning. Sonia's eyes twitched. Kelechi, stop eating! Babe, I paid for my suit, not for hunger, I said, dunking a drumstick into his mouth. At that moment, Sonia overheard a guest whisper to another, Is he her boyfriend? Who knows, the other whispered back. Loud enough for her to hear, their eyes darting between Sonia and Kelechi, who was still munching away like nothing had happened. They said bring +1, this one brought a plus problem. Sonia had never wanted to disappear more in her life. That was it, she couldn't take it anymore. Kelechi, we are leaving now, she hissed, grabbing his arm. Kelechi frowned, still chewing. Leave? Babe, it's your sister's wedding, we just got here. And you just baptized half of the guests with jollof rice. Get up! Fine, but can I at least take one more? Move before I disown you, she yelled. Sonia yacked him up, but just as he rose from the chair, a loud, unapologetic fart erupted from Kelechi's backside. The music didn't stop. The guests didn't pause their conversations, but somehow the entire hall went dead silent. Sonia froze. Kelechi froze, the guest at the table, traumatized. A waiter passing by with a tray of champagne flinched so hard that he almost spilled the drinks. The woman with the rice-covered dress looked like she was reconsidering her entire life. The flower vase, it still had beef on it, and now it also had been a witness to a crime. Kelechi, ever the problem, scratched his head. That one wasn't me, oh. Sonia turned red. You are the only one standing. Gravity, Kelechi said, nodding like a philosopher. When you stand too fast, air must escape. Sonia grabbed her purse, her patient hanging by a thread. Kelechi, if you say one more word, I swear. But Kelechi had one last mission. He picked up a piece of chicken from his plate, grinned and stuffed it into his pocket. For the road. That was it. Sonia stormed through the exit, dragging him behind her while guest whispered and stared. The MC, trying to salvage the moment, cleared his throat and said, Well, I guess love is all about accepting your partner's flaws and farts included. Laughter erupted across the hall. Sonia, she wanted the ground to open up and swallow her. The car ride home was silent. Not the comfortable silence where two people enjoy each other's presence. This was the thick, deadly silence where one wrong move could result in an emotional explosion. Sonia gripped the steering wheel so tightly her knuckles turned white. Her jaw was clenched, her eyes straight on the road. Kelechi, seated beside her, shifted uncomfortably. He glanced at Sonia, then looked down at his stomach. Babe, I think your car seat is shrinking. Why does it feel so tight? Silence. Or maybe it's the seat belt. The thing is gripping my chest like village aunties. When they see you've added weight, still silent. Kelechi cleared his throat. So you're vexing like this just because of small food accidents? Sonia's eyes twitched. Kelechi sighed and rubbed his belly. To be honest, I think I need a nap. Or a snack. Or both. Sonia let out a slow, deep breath. Mentally begging herself not to crash the car out of frustration. Finally, they arrived home. Sonia parked and stepped out, slamming the door harder than necessary. Kelechi tried to do the same, but his weight made the car bounce slightly. Sonia stomped inside without a word. Kelechi still outside. Stretched his arms. I don't know why she's angry. Did I fart on purpose? No. Did I eat like a hardworking man? Yes, and I don't regret it. Then, barely leading the way, he waddled into the house. Sonia headed straight to the bathroom. She needed to wash off the stress. The warm water hit her skin and she let out a long sigh. This is my life, she muttered. My boyfriend is a human vacuum cleaner and a fat machine. She took her time in the shower, hoping that when she came out, she would be calm enough to have a proper conversation with Kelechi. Maybe she had been too harsh. Maybe he didn't mean to embarrass her. Maybe, just maybe, she could talk to him like an adult. She stepped out of the bathroom, her hair wrapped in a towel. Feeling refreshed, she had her speech ready. She was going to be mature about this. Then she saw him. Kelechi sat at the dining table, a loaf of bread in his lap. No, not a slice, not two slices, the whole loaf. He was smearing each slice with an ungodly amount of butter, stacking them like a greedy child preparing for war, and then he shoved the piece into his mouth. His cheeks puffed out like a chipmunk. Sonia blinked. She took a step forward, praying she was imagining things, but no, this was real. Kelechi, oblivious, chewed with the dedication of a man fulfilling his life purpose. He licked butter off his fingers, hummed in satisfaction, and reached for another slice. Sonia's chest tightened, her eyes twitched, and then she broke. A small sniffle escaped her lips. Kelechi Michu looked up, his eyes widened in horror. Babe! Sonia covered her face, her voice trembling. Kelechi, I can't do this anymore. Panic gripped him. He tried to stand up quickly. Big mistake. His belly hit the table, making the butter jar wobble dangerously. His knees buckled. He rocked back and forth like a seesaw, and then, thud. He fell back into the chair with a defeated sigh. The butter jar tipped over. A slice of bread flopped onto his lap like it too had given up on him. Sonia sobbed louder. Kelechi, struggling to get up, wiped his mouth. Babe, please don't cry. It's just bread. I didn't know food could cause heartbreak. Sonia glared at him through her tears. It's not about the bread, Kelechi. Then why are you crying when bread is the only thing in my mouth? Because you never stop eating. Kelechi gasped. Ha! So it's a crime to nourish my body. Sonia pointed at the butter-covered massacre in front of him. Who puts this much butter on bread? Kelechi looked at his hands, the butter glistening under the living room light. He licked his fingers. It had flavor. Sonia threw her hands up. Kelechi, you embarrassed me today. The whole wedding hall was watching, and now, instead of reflecting, you are here inhaling a whole loaf of bread, like it's your last meal. Kelechi sighed dramatically. Babe, I get it, I do, but let's be honest. You knew who I was when you met me. Sonia wiped her tears. What? You knew I was a man who loves food? He rubbed his belly. I'm not a small boy eater. I eat like a man and I fat like a man. I can't pretend I don't have body functions. If I hold it in, what if I explode? Sonia stared at him speechless. Then she exhaled sharply. Kelechi, why do you eat like this? Kelechi shrugged. Because I'm hungry. She held his gaze. Are you? Silence. He looked away. I don't know, but he did. He knew exactly why. Kelechi sighed, rubbing his hands together. I grew up in a house where food was everything. My parents weren't affectionate people. They didn't say I love you, they didn't hug. But when I was sad, my mom would put an extra piece of meat in my food. When I got good grades, my dad would buy me suya. Food was how they showed love. Sonia softened. He continued, his voice quieter now. When I got older, I just kept eating. It became a habit. Stress, food, sadness, food, celebration, food. He swallowed. And now, I don't even think about it. I just eat. Sonia inhaled deeply. Kelechi, this isn't healthy. He looked down. She moved closer. I love you, but I can't keep watching you do this to yourself. Kelechi met her gaze. You're saying I have to choose between you and food? Sonia shook her head. No, I'm saying you have to choose between this version of you, the one who lets food control him, and the version of you that actually takes care of himself. Kelechi was silent for a long moment. Then he sighed. So no more butter. Sonia rolled her eyes. You can eat, but you can't eat like you're preparing for hibernation. Kelechi chuckled. This is going to be hard. Sonia smiled. I'll help you. As Kelechi reached for her hand, he asked, so you're not leaving me? I'll think about it, she smirked, making Kelechi groan. Ah, my heart. Then his stomach grumbled loudly, making Sonia glare at him. Kelechi raised his hand in surrender. See? That wasn't me. That was my stomach. We're two different people. Sonia burst into laughter. So, dinner? Kelechi grinned. Sonia threw a pillow at him. Go drink water and sleep, Kelechi. As she walked away, Kelechi sat back, rubbing his belly. This will be interesting. The next morning, Sonia woke up to an unusual silence around the house. No clinking of plates, no exaggerated chewing, no hum of satisfaction from the living room. Curious and still worried, she padded to the kitchen. Kelechi sat at the table, staring at a single boiled egg and a cup of green tea, like they had just insulted his ancestors. She folded her arms. What's going on here? Kelechi exhaled dramatically. Babe, this is breakfast. Sonia raised an eyebrow and he shook his head. I didn't know breakfast could be this lonely. Where's the excitement? Where's the vibe? Sonia bit her lip to hold back a laugh. Kelechi, you're supposed to eat the egg, not give it a TED talk. Kelechi groaned. Babe, be serious. Is this how fit people eat? No yam, no akara, no small pop-off. Sonia sat across from him. You said you wanted to change. That means learning portion control. He groaned louder. Portion control. Who invented that demon? Sonia chuckled. Just try, okay? We'll take it one step at a time. Kelechi sighed. Fine, but if I faint, let it be on the record that you starved me. A week later, Sonia introduced Kelechi to something more terrifying than small food. Exercise. Kelechi stared at her in horror as she handed him a yoga mat. What is this for? Sonia smirked. We're starting with own workouts. Kelechi recoiled. Ha! You want to kill me in my own house? Sonia rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. Kelechi clutched his chest. Dramatic, babe. I just ate. If I jump now, do you know what will happen? Earthquake. Sonia ignored him. Let's start with jumping jacks. Kelechi groaned but obeyed. He lifted his arms and jumped once, then twice. By the third jump, he froze. His body tensed, his face twisted in panic. Sonia noticed. What? Kelechi didn't answer. He just clenched. Sonia gasped. Kelechi, did you? Don't ask questions you're not ready to hear the answers to, Kelechi yelled. Sonia howled with laughter. Kelechi, please, not on my yoga mat. Kelechi wobbled to the bathroom, mumbling to himself. This fitness life is not for me. As the weeks passed, things slowly improved. Kelechi started drinking more water, eating smaller portions, and with great difficulty, cutting down on excessive butter. Sonia made sure he didn't feel like he was suffering. She learned healthier versions of his favorite meals, finding creative ways to keep things delicious. One evening, as they sat together, Kelechi smiled at her. Babe, I feel good. Sonia tilted her head. Yeah? He nodded. Have more energy. I don't feel sluggish all the time. And my jeans actually fit again. Sonia grinned. I'm so proud of you. You should be, Kelechi smirked. I made the ultimate sacrifice. Sonia rolled her eyes. What? Eating like a normal human being? Kelechi gasped. You won't respect my struggle. Sonia laughed. Kelechi leaned in closer, but honestly, babe, thank you for being patient, for not giving up on me. Sonia squeezed his hand. You did the work, Kelechi. I just helped. He smiled, then wiggled his eyebrows. So, I've been good for weeks now. Do I get a reward? Sonia narrowed her eyes. What kind of reward? Kelechi grinned. Meat pie, extra beef. Sonia groaned. Kelechi! He pouted. Just one. She sighed. Fine, one. Kelechi fist pumped. Yes! Balance is key. As Sonia rolled her eyes, Kelechi pulled her into a hug, whispering, I love you, babe. Sonia smiled. Love you too. Now, let's see if you can eat that meat pie without embarrassing yourself. Kelechi gasped. Ah! The disrespect continues. They burst into laughter. And just like that, they found their balance. Love, food, and a little bit of chaos.